When it comes to starting your lamination and which type of butter you're going to decide to use, today we're going to start with the PS30. Now, one thing to take into consideration when it comes to Pepe Saya Buttersheets, they are small batch produced, right? So they are really unique and they're really sort of peculiar in the way that they behave. Yes, it's a slightly softer than any other commercial butter sheets, and sometimes it tends to have a slightly more moisture, which is entirely okay. It does show you and talk to you a little bit more about the freshness of the product and the kind of cream and the kind of churning that they're using when processing and making these butter sheets. Now, as you will see in these butter sheets, they're now coming with sulfurized paper, which is going to help with the absorption of any residual water that you may find in the butter sheet. So it's going to give you a more consistent and a little bit of a drier butter sheet to work with as you start your lamination. Now, when it comes to lamination, you want to start with cold room, right? Ideally, you're working in a climate control environment that has at least air condition. This is butter and dough that you're working with, so the hotter the environment is, the softer your butter is going to work. If you don't have a climate control room, then you can work by managing both the temperature of your butter and the temperature of your dough. The rule of thumb, and the first rule to know with, is when it comes to lamination, the butter consistency and the dough consistency need to be almost identical or match the same. If you press your dough, you'll find that there's a little give, all right? It feels cold to the touch, but it's firm. Same thing with your butter. You can find that there's press, there's a little give, cold to the touch, then you can feel that in terms of lamination, both of these are going to marry each other really well. If your dough is too soft, then it's going to start to flatten too much, and your butter is going to protrude or break through the dough. If your dough is too hard, then it's going to start to press through the butter and give you uneven layers and squeeze your butter out of your lamination. So you want to try and be able to match the consistency of the butter sheet to the consistency of the dough itself. If we're talking temperature, I like to laminate using the butter anywhere between 4 and 8 degrees, matching the same with the dough. Now the dough can reach up to 10 degrees as well, because it doesn't have the same butter consistency or the same fat consistency. So in order for it to reach a temperature, you might want to reach up to 10 degrees when it comes to the dough.